Have you ever been called too nice? Have you found yourself constantly bending over backwards to accommodate others, even when it stretches you thin? The one who never says no? The one who agrees to every request, every favor, every demand, regardless of their own needs or desires. The one who stays quiet just to keep the peace. The one who swallows their opinions, their disagreements, their very self, to avoid rocking the boat. The one who smiles, even when you're breaking inside. The one who plasters on a happy face, masking the turmoil, the exhaustion, the quiet desperation within. Being nice might sound like a strength, but what if it's silently costing you your identity, your voice, and your mental health? What if this constant need to please is actually a prison, trapping you in a cycle of self-neglect and quiet suffering? Today, I want to go deeper. I want to explore the hidden costs of people-pleasing and understand why it's so much more than just being nice. Because sometimes, being nice isn't kindness. Sometimes it's a carefully constructed facade, a performance designed to win approval and avoid rejection. It's self-abandonment in disguise. It's the act of sacrificing your own needs, desires, and boundaries on the altar of other people's expectations. Let's be clear, being kind is powerful. Genuine kindness, rooted in empathy and compassion, can transform lives and build meaningful connections. But nice isn't always the same thing. Niceness can be superficial, a performance lacking genuine feeling or authentic connection. Often niceness is a defense mechanism, a way to protect yourself from perceived threats, criticism, or rejection. It starts in childhood, when you learn that love is conditional. When you realize that affection and approval are dependent on meeting certain expectations. Maybe you were only praised when you were helpful. When you went above and beyond to assist others, even at your own expense. Or punished when you expressed anger. When you dared to show frustration, disagreement, or any emotion deemed unacceptable. So you adapt. You learn to suppress your true feelings and mold yourself into what others want you to be. You stop complaining. You bite your tongue, swallow your grievances, and pretend everything is fine. You suppress your needs. You put everyone else's priorities ahead of your own, neglecting your own well-being in the process. You become the peacekeeper, the fixer, the good one. The reliable, dependable person who always smooths things over and makes everyone happy. And the world rewards you for it, until you lose yourself in the performance. Until you become so consumed with pleasing others that you forget who you truly are. Because deep down, you're not being nice. Deep down, beneath the surface of agreeable behavior, something else is lurking. You're being afraid. You're acting out of fear, not genuine kindness or compassion. Afraid to be disliked, afraid to disappoint, afraid to finally take up space, afraid to assert your needs, express your opinions, or simply be yourself without fear of judgment. So what does always being nice really cost you? What are the long-term consequences of prioritizing other people's needs over your own? Resentment, you say yes while screaming no inside. You build up a reservoir of anger and frustration that slowly poisons your relationships and your sense of self. Burnout. You give to everyone else and leave nothing for yourself. You deplete your energy reserves, leaving you feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and emotionally drained. Disconnection. People love the mask, but not the real you. You create a superficial connection with others, based on a false persona, leaving you feeling isolated and misunderstood. Attraction to takers. The more you tolerate, the more you're used. You become a magnet for people who exploit your kindness and take advantage of your willingness to please. Emotional suppression, anger, sadness, even joy gets filtered. You numb yourself to your own feelings, creating a barrier between you and your authentic emotional experience. You become so used to being agreeable. You forget how to be authentic. You lose touch with your own values, beliefs, and desires, becoming a chameleon who adapts to every situation. And here's the truth most people avoid. If you spend your life trying not to offend anyone, you'll eventually offend yourself. You'll betray your own needs, values, and desires in the pursuit of external validation. Let's break it down psychologically. Let's examine the underlying mechanisms that drive people-pleasing behavior. Chronic niceness is often a trauma response, a form of fawning. It's a survival strategy developed in response to past experiences of trauma or adversity. Fawning is when you appease others to avoid conflict or danger. It's a way to de-escalate potentially threatening situations by becoming agreeable and compliant. It's part of the fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. One of the 4 primary ways that our nervous system responds to perceived threats. So if you grew up in chaos, or environments where anger meant rejection, being nice became your way to survive. It was a learned behavior, a coping mechanism that helped you navigate a difficult and unpredictable world. It was never about peace. It was about safety. It wasn't about creating harmony, but about protecting yourself from harm. But now, you're safe. You're no longer in that chaotic or threatening environment, and yet the pattern persists. The ingrained habit of people-pleasing continues to dictate your behavior, even when it's no longer necessary. Why? Why does this old pattern continue to hold you captive? Because the nervous system doesn't respond to logic. It's not swayed by rational arguments or intellectual understanding. It responds to habit, to the deeply ingrained neural pathways that have been reinforced over years of repetition. To break free, you need to rewire that conditioning. And that starts with awareness. You need to consciously challenge those old patterns and create new, healthier ones. You don't have to become rude or cold. You don't have to swing to the opposite extreme and become aggressive or uncaring. You just have to become honest. Honest with yourself and with others about your needs, your boundaries, and your truth. Here's how to begin. First, notice when you shrink. Pay attention to the moments when you make yourself smaller to accommodate others. When you laugh off insults, when you apologize for existing, pause. Recognize these moments as opportunities to choose a different response. Ask, am I being kind or am I just scared? Is your behavior motivated by genuine compassion or by a fear of rejection? Second, practice micro-truths. Start small by expressing your honest opinions and preferences in low-stakes situations. Start small. Actually, I don't agree. Gently and respectfully express your differing viewpoint. That doesn't work for me. Politely decline requests that don't align with your needs or priorities. Let yourself be real, even if your voice shakes. It's okay to feel nervous or uncomfortable when asserting yourself. Third, set boundaries. Define your limits and communicate them clearly to others. Boundaries aren't walls, they're clarity. They're not about isolating yourself, but about creating healthy and respectful relationships. You can be loving and still say no. You can set boundaries with kindness and compassion. Fourth, redefine kindness. Expand your understanding of what it means to be kind. True kindness includes you. It means treating yourself with the same compassion and understanding that you offer to others. If being kind to others requires being cruel to yourself, it's not kindness, it's people-pleasing. It's a form of self-sacrifice that ultimately harms both you and your relationships. Being kind is beautiful. Genuine kindness, rooted in self-compassion and authenticity, is a powerful force for good in the world. But being kind to everyone at the cost of yourself isn't noble. It's a slow erasure. It's a gradual fading away of your own identity, your own needs, and your own voice. You deserve to be seen, heard, and respected, not just for your niceness, but for your truth. You deserve to be valued for who you are, not just for what you do for others. If this spoke to you, subscribe to Think Naked for more psychology deep dives like this. We explore the complexities of human behavior and offer practical tools for personal growth. Your healing deserves a voice. Your journey towards wholeness and authenticity deserves to be heard and honored. And that voice is yours. It's time to reclaim your voice and speak your truth with confidence and courage. Like, comment, and share if you're ready to stop shrinking and start showing up. Let's create a community of individuals who are committed to living authentically and embracing their true selves.